I am Waddell Bell. I am the bassist on Sister Julie's Heart Feel It album.
My name is Josh Jergy, and I did all of the horns and the arranging and the composition of the horn lines along with Rocker T. So I performed the trumpet, the flugelhorn, and the trombone on most of the tracks.
My name is Juba White. I'm a drummer, producer, and vocalist, recording artist. However, my contribution to Sister Julie's record, album, entitled Heart Feel It, is drumming. Yeah.
I'm Toby Giddy, also professionally known as Rocker T, and I am the producer of the album. I'm also a co-writer, musician in the Heart Feel It band, and I'm also a featured artist on the album, and I had a lot to do with helping Sister Julie compose her songs and learn all of her parts to play on the album. A great time contributing to this album. I feel like it's one of my babies.
My name is Fitzalbert Cottrell, popularly known as President Brown. My contribution to Heart Feel It, Sister Julie's album, is I appeared on a track called Jah Love Remains, sing for the youths.
Aloha, my name is Zahira, and I sang harmony vocals on Sister Julie's album and live performance video.
And my name is Sidney Mills. My contribution to Sister Julie's record, I actually mixed the record and I kind of like advised her along the way. And I helped out working with Rocket T and just help her with the social media aspect of it and just get up and running that she's a new artist.
My name is Sister Julie, and I made the album Heart Feel It because I had a dream, a lifelong dream to make music. And I taught elementary school for 20 years, and I raised my son, and I said, if I don't do this, I'll never know if I can. So I decided to try. And I was going to start with 3 tracks, and I ended up making an entire album with 15 tracks. And I have some other songs outside of the album as well. So it's just a dream that's manifested into reality.
My favorite track on the album is Here We Go Again, because I'm always singing it. Out of all the songs, that's the one that comes into my head all the time, so I always find myself singing it. So yeah, that's my favorite song.
My favorite track on the album is Jah I. That's not one you're going to see on the EPK. You're going to have to see us at the festival to hear that tune. But I'm really impressed with the rhythm on it, the bass line in particular. It's got a really, really beautiful melody. It's phrased really well. And it was really, really easy to write horn parts for that tune. And I feel like it's probably the best work that I did on the album. But outside of that, I really, really love that song. And I can't wait for everybody to hear it on the album.
They're all favorites, but I'd have to say, Here We Go Again. And the reason for that is not just because of the music, but also because of the music video. Sister Julie sings and she plays the guitar. And I feel like, this is a plug for all who have not seen the video yet, because the video is not out yet. When that video comes out, you better go check it out. All right? She represented so well, singing and playing her guitar. And you could feel her energy and her emotions coming through her song and through her playing as well. So, yeah, Here We Go Again.
I have many favorite tracks on this album. I think Garden, I think Where There's Love, I think Forward, I think many. I really love every track on the album. I think that there's a track called Jah Is Here on the album that is the sleeper, I think. I think that's a sleeper track. So it's one of my favorite tracks on the album, but I really like all the tracks.
I love all the tracks on the album. I think my favorite track to listen to is Forward. I really like the message, it's motivating, and I especially like Rocker T's appearance on there. Like he's doing that old school style, like yes, tops.
Sister song, for me, that's the most potent song, knowing my sister Julie, because we are closest sisters. And that song is a representation of our friendship and bigging up the mom, because we're both mommies, and also the divine feminine and Mother Earth. And that's the most important thing for me on this planet.
My favorite track on the record is Festival Time, because I was kind of like in the beginning when Rocketeer had the idea to do the record, and she's an avid lover of going to concerts. And she just wanted to bring something to a record that would talk about being in a festival and having people around, having fun, and just taking the mind off the daily, worries that they have.
My favorite track on the album changes as I go through time. I'd have to say, Here We Go Again is one of my favorite tracks because it really states how I feel about the world that we're living in today and how we have to kind of come together and help each other. Despite all the differences that people might have, that's a celebration too. So Here We Go Again probably says it concisely and is a really good song for me. But the other song, honestly, that ties that would be Where There Is Love. And Where There Is Love, I wrote on the piano, even though we didn't play piano on the track as far as how we play guitars on it. And Where There Is Love is it's very deep, a very deep song. So if you haven't heard it, I encourage you to check it out.
The messages that are conveyed on this album are just basically what we call article, just really vibes of good messages, nothing negative, positive. Everything is positive, just positive energy.
The songs that Sister Julie wrote for this album kind of reflect who she is, and she's an educator, and she's a lover of people and a lover of children, and she brings an uplifting energy and message with her everywhere she goes, and I feel like that's the overwhelming theme on the album. It's just reassurance, uplifting, nothing but positivity, and it's beautiful, and it is uplifting, and I feel like it accomplishes what it set out to do.
In my opinion, the messages that are being conveyed on the album, again, the title of the album is Heart Feel It. So, messages of love, seeing music from the heart, togetherness, unity, heart feel it.
Well, the messages are beyond my opinion, and they are being conveyed as messages of peace and love and sister and brotherhood and family and upliftment and support and being conscious and being focused and riding the waves of life and making it into a much more enlightened space.
Straight up, is the channel of Rastafari. That's where Sister Julie is coming from, and this is where all of I and I is coming from. It's truth and love, one love. That's the whole basis of this album and this production and the works. It has to do with Rasta, and Rasta say one love to all people.
The messages are potent, transformational anthems for positivity, for upliftment, for unity, for consciousness, sustainability, and the answer is heart feel it. Feeling from your heart, feeling with love, feeling with ultimate honor to all beings. And Sister Julie not only sings about it, but she lives it. She's a living prophecy.
The messages conveyed on the album with Sister Julie, Heart Feel It, it's her view on the world and how she thinks this world should be. And, she's a very loving person, and just a true love for music, a true love as a caring person, and just a heartfelt person who you just got to know and love.
The messages in this album, I say they're conscious messages. They're messages to love yourself a little bit more, to love each other a little bit more, to find times when you're feeling really down and blue, to remind yourself that it's going to be okay, that things kind of go up and down, but you can't give up. You have to keep trying, and you have to remember that there's a lot of people going through suffering like you might be feeling or going through, and each person, has their own traumas or different things that they're having to face. We all do as humans, you know. But I think the messages in this music is meant to uplift you and remind you it's going to be okay.
I am super proud of Sister Julie and of the band, all of the musicians on the project. I'm incredibly, incredibly touched and deeply moved when I hear it, to listen to it, and I fully, fully enjoy it. And I really think it's good medicine. It's very much good medicine, this album. So please check out Heart Feel It by Sister Julie.
Working on this project, I really enjoyed because, you know, it's like vibration coming together, you know, from the musicians to the producer, to even Sidney Mills, you know, who played a big part in mixing, and Rocker T. And you have Waddell Bell, you know, great bass player. You have Brett Harmon, you know, we guitarist, and we work together for years. You have Juba again and drums, you know, we're all one, you know, so it's really a joy because we're all people who work together, you know.
I pray that Sister Julie can reach millions of people, that her message can get out to the world, because her music really speaks to the heart and it has something to say to transform the planet. And I truly believe that. And that's why I'm here today, because I believe in her and I believe in her sacred heart and also her mission. Love you, Sister Julie.
Sister Julie had a dream from nothing. And today we recorded a full-fledged band, like full-fledged horns, percussion, everything. And it sounded amazing. And if it's just her first project, I can't imagine what the next one is going to sound like. I hope to be a part of it. The fought she had, the war she went through to prove to people that she can do this, and she made it happen. And again, I said I commend her for that.
I just want to add on this project, I want to thank each and every person that participated on this project. I have to, you know, there's so many people, but Rocker T was my producer. And without him, this album wouldn't sound the way it does. And I would add to that Sidney Mills, who mixed the entire album. Without those two making the sounds that they did, helping create the sound I was going for, it wouldn't sound the way it does. I had Waddell Bell on bass. I had Juba White on drums throughout the whole album. Zahira introduced me to Rocker T, and she did harmonies on half the album. I have Mama Crow, who she wasn't here tonight, but Carmen, she's an amazing harmonizing singer and a singer in her own right as well, as is Zahira. I had Joshua Jurge play all the horns on the album. You know, Rocker T did the keyboards, and both he and I did the guitars on the album. And I don't know if I'm forgetting anyone else, but there's just so many people that have come together to really help me make this album possible. So to them, I am truly grateful. And to my family and to my friends that encouraged me. To my son, Joshua, who's been there the whole time listening to these songs over and over again for quite a long time. Yes, I'm truly blessed. And above everything else, I'm grateful to Jah for life, because without life, I couldn't have made this music. So, yeah.
Heart feel it. Yeah, man, that's what I want to add. Heart feel it. Big up to Sister Julie and everyone that has participated on this album. Rocker T, the producer, Sidney Mills, you know, Sim Music. And, you know, it was great to work with all my colleagues, you know, musicians that participated and that are also here, you know, for this live presentation of, you know, the album. So, yeah, it's a pleasure. Heart feel it. Juba, out.